Tonight on the Q30 Newscast.
Something mysterious is found in a sewer drain on the Mount Carmel campus.
And students get charitable for the holiday season.
These stories and much more on tonight's abbreviated episode of the Q30 Newscast.
The Mount Carmel campus was full of commotion this week. 4 kittens and their mother were trapped in a storm drain. Hamden Police, Fire, and Animal Control all tried to free the kittens. Quinnipiac student Kelly Cates ventured down the drain to try and save them. Kevin Perez, a witness, gave us the details on what Quinnipiac did to help the situation.
Well, that night, the girl that was there already who had called public safety, and they didn't really put that much attention to the subject, and they told us to call the police and Hamden Animal Control. They were off duty also, which was disappointing, but then when public safety didn't want to come up, they sent facilities, and to be honest, facilities was a joke because they didn't really do anything. All they brought was a pole, and a pole isn't really going to do anything in the circumstances that were at hand, and they didn't really care about the cats that were down there.
After a 24-hour attempt, all of the kittens were saved by Animal Control. The mother cat was found by facilities workers near the Hilltop parking lot. The kittens are being held at Super Paws Rescue in Fairfield, Connecticut.
This past Monday, Q-Thon held a Frozen-themed kickoff event in the Piazza. Committee members were there to help the student body continue to register for Q-Thon's Dance Marathon, the Q-Thon Dance Marathon event that will be taking place March 25th. There was also cookie decorating, hot chocolate, ice cream, karaoke, and those in attendance even make a stuffed Olaf. Many members of the Quinnipiac community came out to support, and the event was an overall success. If you're interested in participating in Q-Thon, there is still plenty of time to sign up. Make sure you visit events.marathon.com. Donald Trump and Jill Stein have made headlines once again this week.
And American politicians react to Fidel Castro's death. Carrie Golden has your political news for the week. Carrie?
Thanks, guys. Although voters have spoken, President-elect Donald Trump is still surrounded by election controversy. Trump publicly blasted Green Party candidate Jill Stein, who raised millions of dollars to support a recount of votes in the state of Wisconsin. President-elect Trump has coined this Green Party effort as a scam and ridiculous, accusing Stein of trying to raise money that will be used to fill her own treasury. According to the Green Party, the push for a recount came after reports of voting discrepancies and say that the intent of the recount is not to change election results, but to conduct an investigation into the resolution of paper records to look at the integrity of the voting system and to ensure the current voting system is fair to all sides. The death of communist Cuban leader Fidel Castro sparked various reactions from American politicians. President Obama offered a, quote, hand of friendship to the Cuban people and condolences to the Castro family. President Obama was the first sitting president to visit Cuba since Castro's forces overthrew the U.S. government in 1959. Obama reminded Cubans that, quote, they would always have a friend and partner in the United States of America, end quote. Not all politicians, however, shared in the president's sentiments. Florida Senator Marco Rubio publicly referred to Castro as a, quote, evil, murderous dictator who turned Cuba into an impoverished island prison, end quote, and criticized President Obama for his pathetic statement and blasted him for failing to mention the millions of people Castro killed and imprisoned. 2 hours following the president's statement, the Obama transition team issued a longer statement that referred to Castro as a brutal dictator who oppressed his people for over 60 years. President-elect Trump did not miss the opportunity to weigh in by noting his plans to, quote, reverse President Obama's efforts to normalize relations between the two countries, end quote. Well, that's all I have this week for politics. Back to John and Brenna at the desk.
Thank you, Carrie. When we come back, we have a story on a touching holiday project being led by some Quinnipiac students.
And Mike Iozzo has our national news update, including the recent events that occurred at the Ohio State University. Stay with us.
It's 9:30 Eastern, and you know what that means. Sports Pause is on the air.
Ball played up the middle. Iman Whalen with a little cheat off the pipe.
Preseason just boils down to going after another national championship and not necessarily focusing on the one before.
MJ, it is time for our favorite part of the show. It's the top 5 plays of the week, brought to you by B&D Deli, home of the Q-Dog.
Let's talk about the first play you want to break down.
Yeah, let's break it down right away.
But the one name I'm going to throw out there is a freshman, Mika Maples.
Hello, Quinnipiac hockey fans, and welcome to the Neutral Zone.
Definitely St. Lawrence, and I think you're going to see the test coming up real soon.
They might be having a bit of an adjustment issue without that CBS line, but don't count them out.
At High Point Solutions Arena in Game 2 of Quinnipiac vs. Northeastern Series.
Coming up,
and hashtag that.
we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast.
A favorite holiday tradition, the holiday dinner, will take place on December 8th. The university offers a free festive meal to students in the cafeteria on the Mount Carmel campus. Quinnipiac faculty, staff, and administration serve students their meals. The feast includes roast beef, turkey, pasta, vegetables, salad, dessert, and beverages. Students have the option of 5 dining times. Tickets will be distributed through the student ticket portal starting this coming Sunday.
The Quinnipiac community has been feeling charitable in honor of the holiday spirit these past few weeks. Q30's own Mike Iozzo has a story.
In the spirit of the holiday season, the campus-wide group Community Action Project is collecting toys for Project Angel Tree, an event where students pledge to take a tag and buy the gifts on it to help a child in need.
So we're tabling for Project Angel Tree. Our Community Action Project, which is the largest community service club on campus, is partnering with Salvation Army to provide presents to children in need.
Quinnipiac students helped these children so much last year that the Salvation Army has given us many more tags this year.
Last year, Quinnipiac had 500 tags, and this year we brought back over 600 because they went so fast.
Many students take events like this truly to heart and love spending the extra time to make Christmas morning for these little kids extra special.
So I used to do this a lot in high school, so for me it was really personal because I really like helping kids out. I have a 5-year-old little brother and a 2-year-old little sister, so it's very important for me that kids are happy over the holidays and they get what they need.
So I think it's really awesome. I like how they have a lot of tags so that you can pick like what kids and like what gifts you want to get for them. So that's pretty cool, and I know that they're going to be so happy when they get them.
This event is truly spectacular and will definitely bring happiness to these children this holiday season. I'm Mike Iozzo reporting for Q30 News.
The Quinnipiac student-run theater program, the Fourth Wall Theater, will perform Really, Really from December 2nd to December 4th. The production is about a wild night out for a group of college students. The production will be directed by Theo Pinwo. Tickets can be reserved by emailing QU4thWall@gmail.com. Ticket purchases are cash only. And tragedy struck the Ohio State campus this weekend.
Mike Iozo has latest national news update.
Thanks, guys. So let's get right into it. An active shooter was reported at Ohio State University on Monday, November 28th, but sources would later report that it was an attack using a knife and a car. At 8:56 a.m., a Buckeye report was sent out saying, quote, active shooter on campus, run, hide, fight. Watts Hall, 19th and College, end quote. After the investigation continued, it was revealed that at 9:52 a.m., a man later identified as Abdul Razaka Ali Artan drove his vehicle over a curb outside OSU's Watts Hall and deliberately struck and injured a group of students. Many students surrounded Artan to ask if he was okay, but he then got out of his car and began to slash the surrounding students with a butcher knife until an OSU Police Department officer fatally shot him. At this time, 3 of the original 11 victims are still in the hospital, but nothing on their condition has been released yet. At 11:30 a.m., Ohio State tweeted out, quote, shelter in place lifted, scene is now secure. All classes are canceled on Columbus campus for the remainder of the day, end quote. Artan was an 18-year-old Somalian student who had just started his first semester at OSU. Although there have been claims made by the terrorist group ISIS that he had been working in relation with them, it is not clear-cut evidence yet that he made any contact with this group. Throughout the police's investigation of Artan's cell phone records and laptop, they have come across a Facebook post that gives clues as to why these attacks took place. Within the post, he says, quote, by Allah, we will not let you sleep until you give peace to the Muslims. You will not celebrate or enjoy any holiday, end quote. That's all for your national news update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mike. When we come back, Chris Stacy will have our full Q30 weather update on the quad.
And Brooke Riley will have the latest in recent entertainment news. Stay with us.
It's 9:30 Eastern, and you know what that means. Sports Pause is on the air.
Left ball played up the middle. Iman Whalen with a little cheat off the play.
Preseason just boils down to going after another national championship and not necessarily focusing on the one before.
MJ, it is time for our favorite part of the show. It's the top 5 plays of the week, brought to you by B&D Deli, home of the Q-Dog.
Let's talk about the first play you want to break down.
Yeah, let's break it down right away.
But the one name I'm going to throw out there is a freshman, Mika Maples.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome into Studio 125.
So what? So what?
Points. If you score 40 points in a basketball game, we all know you play Quinnipiac intramurals. We all know you love to shoot the rock.
Well, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, what I'm about to say, I guess, is going to be pretty ridiculous in your book. But I'm going to say yes, there is a controversy.
I'm getting ready to punch the ball as it lands right in front of another Monumental player.
Welcome back.
Chris Stacy is standing by on the quad with this week's weather update. Chris?
Thanks, guys. And I am reporting live from the Quinnipiac University quad right now with this week's weather report. Let's get things started off with the map. Right now, we have 54 degrees in New Haven, along with 54 degrees in Meriden. Out in Waterbury, it is 52 degrees, a chilly 49 degrees in Hartford, 55 in Storrs, along with 55 in Northwich, and a nice 58 degrees in New London. Into tonight's forecast, it is raining. I am standing out here right now. It's a light drizzle right now. It is going to be raining tonight with a southeast breeze of 6 miles an hour with a temperature of 50 degrees. As for tomorrow's forecast, 58 degrees, mostly sunny, west wind at 9 miles an hour. Going to be a nice day there before the winter weather starts to come in. As for tomorrow night, it is going to be very cold at a nice 36 degrees. It's going to be clear weather with that west wind at 7 miles per hour. Now on to our 7-day forecast. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be a nice warm day at 58 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy with a low of 36. Going to be a great day. It's going to be one of those last days you get a chance maybe take a hike up at the Giant before that winter weather comes in. As for Friday, December 2nd, it's going to be a little bit colder at a nice 50 degrees, partly cloudy again, 37 as your low. As for Saturday, it's going to be a little bit colder at 47 and 31 as your low, also partly cloudy. For Sunday, it's going to be cloudy, 45 degrees, 31 is a low again, a little bit colder there, and it's going to be even a little bit colder on Monday. Make sure we get our winter jackets out for that day. 43 degrees and cloudy with a low of 27 degrees. And Tuesday, a lot like today, the rain is going to be back. Make sure you get those rain jackets and umbrellas out. It's going to be 45 degrees with a low of 30. And then for Wednesday, to wrap up my 7-day forecast, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 48. It's going to warm up a little bit with a low of 31 degrees. That's all I got for you guys this week. Back to you guys on the desk.
Thanks, Chris. A new Disney movie hit theaters this past weekend.
And a member of the Brady Bunch has passed away. We will toss it over to Brooke Riley for the latest entertainment news. Brooke?
Thanks, guys. Disney's most recent film, Moana, took over the box office over Thanksgiving weekend. Although it fell short to Frozen, it is estimated that the film made $8.1 million throughout the course of the long weekend, making the most money in North America out of all the movies that are currently in theaters, and scoring the second highest Thanksgiving debut ever. The movie is about an animated story of a princess traveling through a mythical world in ancient Polynesia. The highlights on the production side include music by Lin-Manuel Miranda and acting by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. American TV legend Florence Henderson passed away at the age of 82 last Thursday due to heart failure. Her death was a complete surprise as she had not been sick. Florence Henderson played Carol Brady on the hit show The Brady Bunch from 1969 to 1974. Henderson also took on some theatrical roles, including Oklahoma and Annie Get Your Gun. And this is a heartbreaking loss for all the Brady Bunch fans out there. Last Monday, Kanye West admitted himself into a hospital in Los Angeles after a reported meltdown in his personal trainer's home. West quickly canceled the remaining dates of his St. Pablo tour. The New York Post wrote that the star is mentally exhausted from all of the work he has been doing on top of the tour and the anniversary of his mother's death on November 10th as well. Kim Kardashian West was worried about her husband and quickly flew back to LA from New York, where she had been attending the Angel Ball. She has been by his side since. As of yesterday morning, the doctors had released him, but he claims that he is not ready to go home and is still not himself. That'll do it for your entertainment news update. I'm Brooke Riley. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back, Matt Halpin has the latest Quinnipiac sports update, and mark your calendars because it involves a celebration.
Stay with us.
Hello, Quinnipiac hockey fans, and welcome to the Neutral Zone.
Definitely St. Lawrence, and I think you're going to see the test coming up real soon.
They might be having a bit of an adjustment issue without that CBS line, but don't count them out.
At High Point Solutions Arena in Game 2 of Quinnipiac vs. Northeastern Series.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome into Studio 125.
So what? If you score 40 points in a basketball game, we all know you play Quinnipiac Intramurals. We all know you love to shoot the rock.
Well, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, what I'm about to say, I guess, is going to be pretty ridiculous in your book. But I'm going to say yes, there is a controversy.
I'm getting ready to punch the ball as it lands right in front of another Monmouth player.
celebration for a Quinnipiac women's team will take place next week, and Matt Halpin has all the details.
Take it away, Matt.
Thanks, guys. It was a sports-packed weekend full of highs and lows for the Bobcats. I'm Matt Halpin with your Quinnipiac Sports Report. Let's get right into it. The Quinnipiac women's rugby team took on the Central Washington Wildcats in the national championship game this weekend. The Bobcats had never beaten the Wildcats in the program's history. Additionally, Central Washington were already 1-0 this season against Quinnipiac going into the championship match. However, the Bobcats stunned the Central Washington Wildcats and the whole NIRA by winning their second straight national championship by a score of 46-24. Michael Bonavita was there with the story.
Offside. Boom.
Quinnipiac women's rugby, national champions once again. This time defeating Central Washington by a score of 46-24 in West Point, New York, a team they have yet to defeat until today.
When we lost in the regular season to them, it was really close, and it was conditions that were like this plus torrential downpour, and I think it neutralized a lot of the speed on both sides for both teams. But you notice the score was very low the very first time around. But I mean, this is like every other sports movie you've ever seen, where during the regular season, when ultimately when it doesn't count, you don't get the win, and then this is where it counts, where you get the W. And I think that they wanted Central Washington. This is the way that it was supposed to happen, and this is one hell of a final.
One hell of a final indeed. After allowing Central Washington to an early 12-0 lead, Quinnipiac managed to tie Central Washington 17 apiece going into the half.
I mean, we always just say like 0-0, it's nothing that doesn't matter if they score. We have to play like it's 0-0. And I think in the huddle we didn't let it take us down, and once we scored that first try, we knew that we could keep scoring.
Keep scoring the Bobcats did, outscoring Central Washington 29-7 in the second half. Adjustments that were necessary after a slow start.
When we first played them, we did those awesome line breaks, but what made us score those more points today was that we had that support. We were there for the offloads, we kept the ball moving, and that's what separated the last time when we played them to this game. Instead of like just going down to the ground and stopping that play, we kept on moving the ball, and that's how we got through them so well.
So how will the now two-time national champion head coach celebrate?
I'm gonna have to take 5 minutes and be a little bit quiet for the first 10 minutes of the bus ride. I don't know. The first thing we're gonna do and celebrate, I just want to look at every single one of my players and say thank you for the amazing job they did this season.
Quinnipiac University, back-to-back NIRA national champions. From West Point, New York, I'm Michael Bonavita, Q30 Sports.
The university is set to celebrate the Women's Rugby National Championship with a pep rally in the Mount Carmel Dining Hall. The event will take place December 1st at 12:30, and parents, students, and faculty are encouraged to attend. While many people spent Thanksgiving break at home, the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team traveled to Belfast, Northern Ireland for the Friendship 4 tournament. The Bobcats faced off against the St. Lawrence Saints in their first game. Freshman Nick Germain's shootout winner helped Quinnipiac to a victory over the Saints in an otherwise scoreless game. This set up a meeting with the Vermont Catamounts in the championship game. The Bobcats were stunned as they were dominated from the opening puck drop and eventually fell 5-1. The Bobcats continue their season when they host RPI on December 2nd. The men's ice hockey team was not the only Quinnipiac team to participate in a tournament this weekend, as the men's basketball team traveled to Orlando, Florida for the ESPN Advocare Invitational. The Bobcats fell by a margin of 20 and 11 respectively in their first two games against Gonzaga and Seton Hall. It wasn't all bad, however, as the Bobcats would come away with their first win of the season, beating NBA legend Larry Bird's alma mater, Indiana State University, by a score of 80-77 in the 7th place consolation game. Quinnipiac plays Monmouth at home in their next fixture on December 1st. Well, guys, that'll do it for sports. I'm Matt Halpin. Back to John and Brenna at the desk.
Thank you, Matt. That's all we have for tonight.
Stay up to date with the latest Quinnipiac news by following us on Twitter at Q30 News.
And visit our website at q30television.com.
I'm John McMahon.
And I'm Brenna Oracoli. Good night.